Hello, guys. I'm Timothy Earle from Picks and Parlays, and welcome back to Ballin' Out with Tim Earle. After a day off yesterday, because there was only 2 games, and honestly, I bet none of them. So it happens. But we have a loaded card for today, a total of 14 games to talk about. But before we jump into all of it, if you guys haven't checked it out already, you can get all of my NBA plays from the picksandparlays.com website. All using this link below, picksandparlays.net/Tim. 1 week pass, $70. That is $10 a day if anybody's interested in grabbing all of my NBA plays. Number one on the site, 149 and 129, up 21.94. First place on the site by about 15 units. Go ahead, jump on the NBA plays for this upcoming day. We do have a best bet in one of the games, so you guys can go ahead and check that out as well. We'll go ahead and start it off in Philadelphia, where the 76ers are 3-point favorites hosting the Clippers. 216 is the total in this one. And if we've seen one thing this year from the Clippers, number 3 in defense, and they are the worst offense in the NBA. They're scoring 107.5 points a game and giving up the same exact amount. Philadelphia has been a pretty good defensive team as well. They're the number 2 defensive team, only allowing 107.4 points a game. And when it comes to it, we're grabbing the under. These are the 2 top defensive teams. It's going to be the first one to 100 wins. We may not even see 200 points in this game. The Clippers, they should be pretty healthy coming into this one, which is a big question mark. But I'm taking this one under the total. These are 2 of the best defensive teams in the league. Not really trying to overthink that one. Spurs and the Magic will be the next game we bring up, because the Magic are 6.5-point faves, total of 228.5. The Spurs are coming off of a game tonight, as I'm recording this, against the Pelicans, where they did not cover their 8.5-point spread. They lost by 9. So they lost. They're one of the 2 teams on a second leg of a back-to-back against the red-hot Orlando Magic, who have won 8 out of their last 9 games. And the one game they lost, they still covered. And they lost by 1 point on the last-second shot, free throws, against Atlanta. Yeah, I'm going to ride the hot hand right now. I tried to fade them last game with Houston. Did not work. I'm jumping on them minus the 6.5 when they face off against the Spurs. Spurs in a bad spot on the second leg of back-to-back. It's about the max that I'll lay is about 6.5, 7 points in the NBA. We're going to go ahead and grab them. The Bucks and the Nets are going to go at it. The Nets are 2.5-point favorites with a total of 223.5 in this game. And when I looked at this one could very well be a trap line that I'm falling for, but I'm grabbing the Bucks at money line around 140 area. I think it went down a little bit since I've made all the slides for these. So I'm trying to get the numbers as accurate as possible. It's probably maybe 130, 135 area. I'm still grabbing the Bucks. I'm not really. I know that Brooklyn has played well as of late. They've won 5. Well, they've actually won 9 out of their last 10 games. They've been on a good tear. I'm just going to go ahead and try to jump in front of that. It might not be the smartest idea, but I'm going to go ahead and grab Milwaukee on the money line plus the 140, 130 area against Brooklyn. Brooklyn just doesn't really cover all that often at home. They're 6-9-1 against the spread at home, although 11-5. But I think Milwaukee gets the better of them. Especially look at look at the last 2 games that we just saw from these 2 sides. Cleveland beat Milwaukee 114-106. Don't let this score kind of turn you off of it. Cleveland just controlled that entire game. And then the last thing we saw from Brooklyn is an absolute blowout win by 30 points against Golden State. Yeah, go ahead. Give me Milwaukee to beat Brooklyn at home. We'll go to this one. We get the T-Wolves and the Celtics. Celtics 9-point favorites. 232 is the total. I cannot trust this Celtics team right now. I'll be straight up with it. I can't trust them. They've lost 5 out of their last 6 games, and the one game they won, they came back from a massive deficit. It was against the Lakers, though. I'm not really overly impressed with that one. They lost to a Golden State team that's been struggling They lost to the Clippers by 20. They lost to Orlando back-to-back, and then they lost as 10-point favorites to Indiana. They've lost outright in their last 3 games as 9.5, 11, and 13-point favorites. I'm going T-Wolves in this one. There's no chance that I lay anything with the Boston Celtics right now. Pistons and the Hawks are up next. Hawks 8.5-point favorites. 232.5 is the total in this one. This one's gross. I'm going over. It's just because Detroit doesn't really believe in defense all that much. They're the second worst defense, allowing 118 points a game. Atlanta's going to put up some points, even though they're putting up about 114 a game. Their defense is about middle of the pack. I could see this one being a higher scoring game, higher paced game. This one's probably one of the plays I'm the least confident in, but I'll go ahead and take the over with Detroit and the Atlanta Hawks. We'll go ahead on to this one where the Bulls and the Knicks are playing up against each other. The Knicks are 4.5-point favorites with a total of 225 in this game. Knicks snapped their big winning streak last game against the Toronto Raptors. Previous to that, they had won 8 straight games and covered in all of them. I feel like that was just one bad game. It was really a trappy line. I should have seen that one from the beginning. I think the Knicks control this one. I'm not a big fan of the Chicago team, even though they've won their last 2 games. Previous to that, they have lost 3 straight, including getting 150 points dropped on them by Minnesota, who was on backup players. So this is a Bulls team I'm not interested in backing. I'll go ahead and grab the Knicks minus the points against the Bulls. Toronto and Cleveland is up next. Cleveland is a 4.5-point favorite. 215 is the total in this game. And when I looked at this one, we get the Toronto Raptors finally broke their streak because they had lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in a row. They finally won a game against the Knicks. I think they go back to their losing ways, though, because Cleveland, once again, is 16-2 at home. What's stopping us from keep on betting them at home while they keep on winning? They had a nice game against Milwaukee. The last thing everybody remembers from Toronto is them beating the Knicks. I'm going to go ahead and lay the 4.5 points on the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is just a good spot for them at home to kind of get into the Christmas area. I'm grabbing Cleveland minus the 4.5. We're about halfway through. If you guys have not checked out the picksandparlays.com website, you can get my 1-week NBA pass for only $70. picksandparlays.net/Tim for the pack. It's about $10 a day. And it comes with the best bet, which the best bet is in this game right here between the Pacers and the Heat. And the best bet is on the side in this game. So I'm not going to talk about the side. I will talk about the total, though, because we are taking this game under. You get Miami in their last 5 games have gone under in 4 out of their last 5. The one game that went over was over 217, and they landed at 219. Nothing's come close to it. They've gone under this total in 9 straight games. This is a Miami team that's one of the worst offensive teams in the league. They're 29th. The only team worse, we mentioned them earlier with the Clippers. So Miami, second worst offense, and they've got the 5th best defense. I think they're going to be able to slow down the Pacers just a tad so that we can kind of get a lower scoring game in this one under the 226 for these two sides. Keep on rolling with the Mavericks and the Rockets in a Texas matchup. The Mavericks are 5.5-point favorites. 222.5 is the total in this game. And guess what? Oh, yeah, the Mavericks are on the road. We don't back the Mavericks on the road. That just does not happen. They are 4-11 this year on the road, including losing back-to-back. Oh, no, actually, sorry. They did win last game against Minnesota. They snapped that. They were able to get their 4th road win of the year. I'm going to grab the Rockets plus the points. I think they have a legit shot to win outright again against the Dallas Mavericks. Mavericks just not a good road team. So we'll go ahead and keep fading them on the road like we've done all year, and we've been printing money doing it. Rockets plus the points for that game. Pelicans and the Thunder is up next, and the Thunder are 1.5-point favorites. 232 is the total. Pelicans are on a second leg of a back-to-back, and they most likely will still be without Brandon Ingram and still be without Zion Williams. That's why they are dogs in this one. I don't care. Give me the Thunder. This has been a team that's been scrappy. They've been good at home, 9-6 at home, 10-6 against the spread. we're just going to grab their money line around minus 120 so we don't have to worry about laying points. This New Orleans team won and covered. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a couple other players sit out for New Orleans and this line get to about a 3-4 area. Grab the Thunder now before that line jumps. We're taking the Thunder money line minus the 120. 4 games left on this big slate, and Portland is heading to Denver to take on the Nuggets. The Nuggets are 4.5-point favorites with a total of 234.5 in this game. The Nuggets are now the number 1 team in the Western Conference, winning 5 out of their last 6 games, and on a nice little streak at the moment. Portland is on a little bit of a clunker. They've lost 3 out of their last 4 games. 2 of them as 4-point favorites to Oklahoma City back-to-back games. Denver, a really, really good home team, 10-3 at home this year. I'm taking the Nuggets to win by at least 5 in this game, and I think they continue to show that they are one of the better teams in the Western Conference Finals. I have a ticket for them right there to win the NBA Finals this year. I think that this Nuggets team is a legit contender, and I think they keep on rolling. I got a ticket for Nikola Jokic MVP. I would not talk anybody off of the Nikola Jokic triple-double in this one. I like the Nuggets minus the 4.5. Kings are taking on the Wizards, and this game is game's not fun by any stretch of the imagination. This one's one of the ones I really don't like all that much. I'm going to lean towards the over. I'll be honest with you guys. This is another one that I'm not super confident in. There's other games that I really like. This one's kind of a type of game. Wizards they're not really scoring all that much. Their defense is about middle of the pack. It's just the Kings. They're Kings' number 1 scoring team this year. Makes no sense. Although I've been high on them all year, they've been solid, and their defense is one of the worst defenses in the NBA, allowing 116 points a game. I can see this one being an up-tempo game that gets up in the 240s, 250s area. We'll take the over 235.5 for this one. 2 games left as we get the Memphis Grizzlies, who are 1.5-point favorites in Phoenix, taking on the Suns. And Grizzlies are another team that are on top of the West right now, tied for at least with the Nuggets, both at 19 and 11. And this Phoenix Suns team, yikes. They just lost to a team that had lost 10 straight games in the Wizards. Although previous to that, they had won 3 straight games, and previous to that, they lost 5. This is a Suns team that is very just meh right now. We're going to go ahead and just grab the Grizzlies in this one. I think it's a better spot for them, and I'm just going to keep riding with them. They've been making us money. So Grizzlies money line for this one. And it'll take us to the last game of the slate, and that is the Hornets taking on the Lakers. The Lakers are 4-point favorites with a total of 235 in this game. And quite simply, the Hornets do not believe in defense. That's pretty much the whole entire thing. Although they don't score a lot, they are one of the worst defensive teams in the league, allowing 117.7 points a game. And you know the Lakers are going to give up some points as well because they are 26th in the league. And they are one of the higher scoring teams. They're scoring 115.3 points a game. I think this one will be a higher tempo game. Therefore, we'll go ahead and take the over 235 between the Lakers and the Hornets. Once again, if you guys have not checked out the website, 1 week NBA pass for only $70, picksandparlays.net/Tim. 1 week pass, $70, $10 a day for all my picks. And we are 149 and 129 in the NBA, up 21.94, about 15 units up on the next person on the list. So make sure you guys check out that for all my NBA picks. That's going to wrap it up for this episode of Ballin' Out with Tim Earle. I want to thank you guys all for watching. And until next time, let's make some money. Let's cash some bets in the NBA. Good luck, guys.